Hi, I'm Katie Nobles.
And I'm disability attorney Michael Leiner.
And you're watching The Bottom Line. Today's topic, how to win a disability case if you're below 50. Michael, we talked about the ideal candidate for Social Security disability benefits. While it's not all-encompassing, oftentimes it can be being over 65. But tell us how people can win their disability case if they truly are disabled and below the age of 50.
Yeah. So, we've talked about these rules that Social Security has that are called grid rules, which make it a little bit easier for people to get approved for disability when they turn 50, and then even a little bit easier after that when you turn 55. But what about people who are under 50 years old who have to prove that there is no work at all that exists in the entire national economy that you can do? That's a pretty tough standard. And essentially, what you have to prove is that you can't even do what Social Security calls sedentary work, okay? Work which can be done in a seated fashion, work which is very, not heavy lifting. A classic example is, a desk job where you're maybe doing a simple, routine, repetitive task over and over again, like somebody who's just putting labels on things all day. Social Security loves denying people, telling them that they can do work like that, okay? And so the things to focus on if you are under 50 years old and applying for disability, here's what you should be relaying to your doctors. Any issues you have with your hands, because if you have to be even sitting at a desk all day, any problems you have using your hands are going to make it very difficult for you to do that, okay? Issues with fatigue, if you're tired, if you have difficulty with attention and concentration, whether it's because of a physical ailment or a mental health impairment that you have, will make it extremely difficult for you to do even sedentary work. Staying on the topic of mental health, if you have difficulty being around other people, so you're isolative, make sure you're speaking with your doctors all about that. If you're withdrawn from other people, how infrequent you may interact with other people, make sure that that's a consistent topic of conversation with other people. Another huge piece to why people might be unable to do sedentary work, which again is what we have to prove if you're under 50, is if you have to sit with your legs raised. I hear that from my clients all the time that, I suppose I could sit, but then I ask them, well, when you sit, do you have to sit with your legs at heart level? People who have bad backs, heart conditions. Well, yeah, I sit in a recliner all day, or, I'm wiggling in my chair all the time. Make sure that you are telling your doctors about, first, that you are sitting with your leg raised, and two, what percentage of the time you're doing that. And then just generally, if you are struggling to even sit still in a chair because of general discomfort, make sure that's a part of the conversation. What I want to avoid, what I want to caution people about, is what I see too often is when people, and it's in the forefront of their minds, they can't stand for long periods of time. They can't walk long distances. And that becomes the focus of most of their conversation with their providers. But if that's all your notes show, Social Security is going to find plenty of work that you can do. So focus on those other things that we spoke about: fatigue, lack of attention and concentration, any deficits you have with your hand, leg raising, because those things will help us eliminate even sit-down jobs and help us get you benefits regardless of your age.
All right. Thank you so much, Michael, for giving us that great tip. Make sure that you guys are following us on all of our social media profiles. You can submit all of your questions there and also on our website, linerlegal.com. Thanks so much for watching.